Welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking. I'm Deanna. I'm working on kind of a fashion accessory project today in keeping with our very Jane Austen Christmas this month, December 2023. I've got a scarf out that I hardly ever wear, but that I really like. It matches both of my coats and the bag that I carry for right now. And it's a pretty two-sided scarf, but it's got like a lot of pulls and a lot of damage, and I just don't go to it very often. So my idea for this is to embellish it a little bit with just the plain white yarn that was in the Jane Austen Advent Calendar. It's just a thick, plain white yarn, and you could hook with it, but I'm going to actually add it as an applique motif to the scarf, right? It's a version of kind of dumbed down embroidery. Very easy embroidery project. I'm going to kind of start it at the bottom so that the piece of yarn makes a fringe, and I'm going to pin it as I go into swirls that I plan to sew into place. So let me show you what I mean. I'm just going to kind of tack them down as I go. Very just organic shapes. Got my good old tomato out. Some tomato, it's tomato times today. So I'm just going to swirl it as I go and try to make good decisions about placement. If there are places in this scarf that have obvious pulls with it, this scarf definitely has a lot of obvious pulls. I'll probably cover them up with this applique. I could also trim them, repair them, unsnag them like with a little tool, but I could also just cover them. But covering them is the easiest. And this is just a surface decoration, right? So this is not super difficult. You need no special skills, no special degree to do this kind of thing. My scarf is super long, but I'm thinking about how popular scarves are, like shawls and paisleys, the pashmina paisleys and things for this season. We are in winter right before Christmas 2023 now. It's fun to think about how to, in the style of Jane Austen, kind of blinging out what you've already got to make it maybe different, more contemporary, get another couple seasons out of it, maybe make something that's rather plain into something that could be a really pretty gift. That's all I'm doing here. Just sorting myself out, getting the initial part done with pinning down. So I'm going to speed up for a minute while I finish placing my pins just randomly, and then I will catch you back. So you can see mine ran out. I made a few too many swirls, so I'm just going to back up a little bit so that we can spread out the swirls, even it out a little bit. I got a little bit intense over here with the squiggles, got a bit Zentangle and nutty, so I'm just going to repin a little bit. Yeah, this is where I went bonkers. Let me just even this out a little bit. So I have them all pinned down now. I could actually start over here. And you know what I'm going to do? I've just got like a kind of a big-eyed needle. Depending on your material, could be a tapestry needle. What you need is a needle with a big enough eye to accommodate whatever yarn you're going to use, because my next move is going to be to tack it down kind of in multicolor. So I found this, this Lion brand mandala yarn, really inexpensive. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 distinct colors, possibly 9 actually if I'm looking at this light one in here. And it's sometimes hard to unwind, right, because it is quite dense. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what it pooped out. But I'm going to use a little bit of this and then switch to another one. I'm just going to cut it and thread my thing. And I'm going to want to use maybe all of these colors of yarn, but it's a very inexpensive way to get all of those colors. And it's not super thick yarn. With a needle with a tapestry type eye, it's going to go, even with my vision, it's going to go right through the eye. And I'm literally, I think I'll just cut some to get started so that I can switch colors and have a bit of variety. I can kind of choose where I go with it. But all I'm going to do, what I might even do, if I'm going to be really fancy, I might hang a piece. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to hang a piece down to do fringe. Maybe I'll even tie a little knot in it so it kind of matches the fringe that's already there. I think I will. Why not? That looks kind of fun. And, oh, you know what? I should have tied a knot in that. Let me tie a knot in that too. That's going to be, if I tie a knot in that, no, it's going to be too big. Let's leave it. So I'm going to come up through the yarn for myself. It's very thick yarn and I don't really want to see the tail super close up. So this is going to lock it into place, bearing in mind the fringe is here, right? The piece for the fringe is here. So I'm going to lock it in place and then I'm literally just going to scoop around it and tack it as I go. And you'll see what I mean. I have threaded, I didn't say while I was doing it, but I threaded just a single strand, right? It's like one ply. I didn't thread it to be double. I threaded it to be single. You see what I mean? So, and you could do double, right? Depending on your yarn, you could use any kind of yarn that you wanted, but I'm literally just going around it. And it's going to be a little bit fiddly with the large strand at play, but you know you can do it. It's just going to play you a little bit. I'm just going to tack it as I go. And let's get some traction so you can see what I mean. You can do it as often or as infrequently as you want, depending on what kind of pattern you want, because the tacking of the bright colored yarn is going to create a secondary pattern. And of course, you could put more colors in between. You could think about, I'm going to remove my pin before it gets me, which you know it will. And you know, you could put metallics in. You could go around and around with different yarns. You could lay different colors of the thicker yarn down. I used white because I have a busy background, but you could put down a if you have a quiet background, you could do the opposite and put down a multicolored strand of the thick yarn. And then you're literally just going along sewing and deciding how long you want whatever color, depending on how many colors are at play, and you're just tacking it down as you go. There's no math, there's no science. You can see I'm not measuring as I go. This is supposed to be fun and relaxing. I'm just capturing this larger fiber on the surface and creating surface decoration. This is a form of embroidery, is just tacking down surface decoration. And I can make sort of revised decisions about the placement of my yarn as I go along. But in the meantime, I'm going to work on this for a little while until I change colors. And this is what I'm doing the whole way around. Let me show you what it looks like on the other side too. For me, this will be more one-sided than two-sided, but let's see the pattern it's making on the other side. You can see it's making some little lines in there. That's kind of fun too, because when you've got it wrapped around your neck and stuff, there's a few little pops of bling on the other color, on the other side too. But certainly, when I put something on, I'm conscious of it being on this side or that side. I'm not just wildly mummifying myself with scarves with no sort of consciousness of the way that they're laying and the way that they look. I would try to put a scarf that I've hand embroidered on my neck in a way that the most possible embroidery is showing. Obviously, otherwise, what's the point? So I'm going to work on this for a while and sew this guy down. And when I finish, I'll come back to you and show you what it looks like. So talk about a fast project that's relaxing meaningful, right? I'm actually getting something done in a really short time. This is a project of, I mean, this was a very long scarf. I'll show you when I put it on. But I mean, this was, how long did this take me, Jay? Like half an hour?
Half hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Of course, I'm only doing one applique, one yarn going around it. I'm going to see if I can find, you know how I love bright, crazy colors. If I can find like my neon pink, my big fat neon pink yarn that's as thick as this white one that I've been using, or one of my other crazy neon colors, I might actually add a second coil going around it. We'll have to see how it goes. But at the very least, this is just a very quick project, really simple materials, just a needle with an eye big enough for the string or the yarn that you're going to be putting through it. And, you know, it's also a great project for making a gift. I just pulled up a little bit of the, hang on, I just pulled up a little bit of the scarf. You see that? That can happen because I'm aggravating the fibers that are there. But don't worry, it's not going to show. It's definitely not going to show. In the grand scheme of this, none of the little glitches are going to show. I did a little glitch here. I'm not worried about that either. It's really nice to, and I'm doing this very, very fast, right? I'm sure you'll be doing it in a much more measured, normal way. But what a nice gift, getting someone a scarf or something simple like this. You know, what gave me the idea was while I was away this weekend, I saw some scarves that had applique trims like this in some of the really fancy boutique stores. And we're talking, you know, $68, $78, that kind of thing. One of them was like $120. It was basically, I was looking at pashmina scarves that are on eBay for $13 with this over the top of it. And as you know, this is the Lion brand, Mandala. They make all different kinds of colors. And with so many colors within that one skein, that one cake, can you see how much color change I've had happening here? I mean, it's just a no-brainer. It's so much fun. Also, besides pashminas and paisleys, because I'm thinking about Jane Austen too in our Jane Austen month, besides all that, this is me finishing up over here, by the way. I'm going to knot it one more time here, and then I'm going to leave the end kind of long. Besides all those kinds of lightweight wraps and shawls and scarves, you know, you could look for one of your old, I was going to tie the end of it too, right? One of your old maybe woolen scarves that got holes in it, that either got dirty or got moth holes or something. You can run a little cord as a trim right over the holes and keep it. Sometimes you have pretty shawls and things and they get holes over the winter. You could cover them up with something like this. I mean, this was a no-time, no-brainer. And I think it's going to look quite nice. Does it look quite nice?
Pretty good.
Yeah. And you arrange it so that your embroidery shows, you know, however you do it. I'll even take my glasses off. But going over a jacket or whatever, you do it how you do it. But you can see it makes a big difference to a scarf that was quite dark and drab to have so much pretty embroidery on it. A few minutes, right? What a nice gift. What a nice project. What an easy thing to do with your leftover yarn. I will see you next time at Ribbon Candy Hooking.